What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Jose once again from PetRockMedia.com, back with a quick short video. In today's brand new video, we're going to take a look at the different film simulations on the brand new Fujifilm XH2S. We're going to take a look at each one, see which one looks more cinematic, so that way you can get straight out of camera footage without the need of having to shoot an F-log and tweak your colors later. Let's talk about them. Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank each and every one of you for stopping on by. I greatly appreciate all the support from all of you beautiful human beings out there. If you are brand new to the channel and this type of content is something you're interested in, learning about photography, cinematography, geeking out, gaming out, teching out, opening up brand new things and just kind of seeing what and how they apply to our everyday lives on a budget, not on a budget, just totally different types of things that we do on this channel. That sounds like something you're interested in. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and punch that bell icon so you're notified of all the content we post to the channel. So lately we've been doing a little bit of different various videos on the brand new Fujifilm XH2S. We compared it to C-Log off the Canon R5. We've compared it the autofocusing testing, straight out of camera, image stabilization. So we've been putting the XH2S through some various tests. And today what I'm going to be doing for you all is showing you the different film simulations on the Fujifilm XH2S. So that way, if you're not interested in color grading, you just want the most cinematic, most accurate colored footage directly off the SD card, then you might be looking at some of the film simulations. And we're going to go ahead and start those right now. This footage has been shot on F-Log1, not F-Log2, but F-Log1 with the variable ND filter. Because of the lens that I'm using, it is a 1.4 aperture lens, so it lets in a lot of light, and for F-Log you have to shoot at ISO 640. So I've been using a variable ND filter from Peter McKinnon with Polar Pro, their collaboration. So I'm going to leave that variable ND filter on, so that way you'll know that it is going to be diffusing the light a little bit and removing 2 stops of light. But I'm going to go ahead and swap right now. We're going to go to the very first film simulation on the Fujifilm XH2S. Alright, so you could tell this film simulation is quite deeply saturated. This is their Velvia film simulation. So it's a little orange right now. You can see on my face, you know, it's pretty high color, high contrast. So this is one that obviously I would not recommend for video. You can definitely get away with this for some photos, but for video, this is something I wouldn't recommend. Same concept here. This is their Velvia Vivid. It even says it's ideal for landscapes because it brings out extra punch, extra color. This is something, again, I would not utilize for video unless you're going for that very stylistic look. This is another one of those that I just wouldn't really recommend for video work. Now this one right here is the Astia Soft. This one you can probably get away with, especially if you're going to be doing some quick run and gun video footage, BTS style footage, or if you're going to be setting it up as a YouTube studio and kind of tweaking the colors a little bit later in post. This one you can probably get away with a little bit more than the other two. But again, this is their film simulation, Astia Soft. And now one of my all-time favorite simulations for photography, Classic Chrome. Now in the proper lighting conditions, and again that stylistic, maybe not so much noir, but a very grungy looking video project that you have, you have a visual concept on, Classic Chrome could be the one for you. Again, depending on the stylistic approach that you're trying to get from your video, or if you're trying to set yourself apart on YouTube and trying to create that different look for your videos and on your channel, then Classic Chrome might be the one for you. I generally really like to utilize this straight out of camera JPEGs on my X100V, X Pro 3, things like that. But for video, it's a little hit or miss, but this one is one of my more favorite ones for photography, and it can pull itself into video work. Again, it just depends on the scene. Right now we're in a controlled environment with a couple of key lights, lights in the background and whatnot. So it could work for you, but again, this one above the other 3 are one that I would probably recommend, again, depending on your work. This one is pro negative high. Again, this one, depending on your work and depending on your lighting situation, could work for you. You can see right here the kind of glow you get on your subject, the overall like subdued kind of colors, and the rendition it puts out. Definitely a great option. It is straight out of camera, as I mentioned, so there's really not a lot of color tweaking, and none of these have been tweaked by any means. They're straight off the SD card, shot in these film simulations for video. So again, this one could be one that you can utilize well in conjunction with Classic Chrome. This one is Pro Negative Standard, and in my opinion, probably the most ease of use and the most that does not require a lot of color grading, if you will, in post-production. This one is probably going to be the simplest one for you to utilize and just get off the SD card and start editing, whether it be if you're not utilizing like Premiere or Final Cut, but if you're utilizing some more maybe freeware, if you're utilizing your iPad with LumaFusion, something like that. Although LumaFusion can work with LUTs and things like that, but if you're really just trying to pull the footage off, maybe put it in Premiere Rush, Instagram, things like that, you just want to pull the footage off the camera, do a few tweaks, do a few cuts, and then export it out. This one will probably be the best simulation for you to use. And this one is Pro Negative Standard. This is Classic Negative. Again, it's very, very dark, very subdued colors. Very, well, not really subdued, but very contrasty colors, a very contrasty look. Again, depending on your footage and depending on your idea, your creative idea for your film, for your video, for your footage, this one could work. It's very grungy looking as well. Not really something I would really utilize straight out of camera without tweaking, unless that's the look you're going for again. But this is another option for you. This one is Nostalgic Negative. This one, I have some different opinions on. It does look good straight out of camera, again, if it's that stylistic look that you're going for. It doesn't give it a very cinematic look in a controlled studio. However, depending on where you're at, for a lot of outdoor work, for a lot of landscape work, BTS style footage, when you're out on a film, this is definitely a film simulation that I would really get behind and utilize, again, if the ideal situation presented itself. You can see right here, straight into the lights. That's the kind of skin tones you get on this. So it's nice. It's not something that's I would, utilize for an entire video file and video project, but it is an available option for you on the XH2S. And now we're looking at Etna Cinema, probably one of the most popular simulations on any of the latest Fuji cameras, but specifically the XH2S. Etna Cinema really looks good. I have let me lower the lights right now, because right now I have it set to 40% because of the previous film simulation was a little bit darker. But this one, in my opinion, straight off the camera. Again, if you're not interested in doing a lot of color correction, this Etna Cinema is a really solid choice for you for a lot of video work, especially, like right now what we're doing with this talking headshots and YouTube studio work. I would definitely recommend utilizing this one on the XH2S. Pull the footage straight off the card, maybe do a little tweaking, maybe if you have a particular maybe you want to turn this into black and white, which is definitely an option. Also, you can pull your favorite LUT to do that. If you're looking for just kind of like pulling up the shadows a little tweaking, maybe, but straight off camera is, to me, it's a great simulation for you to use on your footage. And this is the Etna Cinema. This one you're probably never going to use. This is the Bleach Bypass. Again, depending on your film project, right? A lot of times you see these in Hollywood style films and they're doing kind of flashback scenes, dream sequences, things like that. If that's something you're looking for and this is the type of simulation that you feel really brings home that story point that you're utilizing in your footage and in your film, then definitely utilize it. But the Bleach Bypass doesn't really get a lot of use on this side, but it could be something that you utilize, especially in your particular film project and the creative idea you're trying to get across to your audience. YouTube work, not really something I would recommend, but again, that's just my personal opinion. It could be something you can utilize. You may be seeing this and be like, that is the exact look I'm going for. Then there you go. You found the simulation you need, Etna Bypass. And now here is the monochrome, not Arcos, but monochrome on the Fujifilm XH2S. We're going to switch to Arcos here in a moment. Monochrome, again, pretty straightforward, pretty simple, black and white footage. If you're looking for noir, a little bit more of those darker crushed shadows and brought up highlights, you can definitely tweak this in post or tweak it in camera with the shadow boost and the contrast and whatnot. But again, this is the general monochrome, and we're going to shift right now to the Arcos. This is the Arcos film simulation without any filters placed on it. There's tons of different filters you can add to it. I'm not going to go through each one of those right now. Again, all of this footage has been shot with the variable ND filter at 3 stops. This is the Polar Pro Peter McKinnon collaboration variable ND filters. And again, you can catch our opening and review of them, and I'm going to leave them up in the corners so that way you can check out that video of the variable ND filters. Every single one of these film simulations has been utilizing that particular variable MD. And right now we're looking at the Arcos film simulation without any additional colored filter on it, without red, yellow, anything like that. You can add that to it in the film simulation settings. This is just straight out of camera. And again, if you're going for that noir, darker look, this one is probably the best one to utilize. Just looking at everything, how everything is crushed, the contrast is deep, details is awesome. If that's the style you're looking for, then this is definitely something to look into. Again, this is the Arcos film simulation on the XH2S. No one shoots in sepia tone, so we're going to move right past this one. But again, if this is something you might be interested in, if it's going to fit your cinematic vision, then definitely take a look at this one. All right, everybody. So now we're back to shooting F-Log straight off the Fujifilm XH2S with their LUT that you can get off their website, and then a creative LUT that I placed on top of that. What did you guys think of the film simulations that we just showed? I think one of my all-time favorite ones now is the Etna Cinema. And if I'm going for that black and white noir look, I really love the Arcos film simulation on this bad boy. Great crushed blacks, high details. Just, I really love the way that Arcos looks on video files if I'm going for that look. And if I'm doing straight out of camera and I'm not really looking to do any kind of editing to the footage, or maybe just small, simple tweaks, then that Etna Cinema is really what I'm looking for on my film simulation side. So Etna Cinema if I'm going straight out of camera and I'm not really looking to do major tweaking, if at all. And for black and white, that Arcos film simulation, in my opinion, is a major go. It is an absolute banger, and I cannot wait to start utilizing a little bit more with some of my creative ideas that I have for the channel. But that wraps up this video, everybody. I want to thank all of you for stopping on by. Thanks for sitting through all the different film simulations. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What's your favorite film simulation off the Fujifilm XH2S or any other previous Fujifilm cameras? If there's your go-to one that you really like to utilize on like your X100V, your any of your X100s, any of your X Pro lineups, XT lineups, you name it. Even if it's the original XH camera from Fuji, let me know if you have any favorite film simulations down in the comments below. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers. I cannot thank each and every one of you more for just the overall support. It's greatly appreciated. Again, thank each and every one of you beautiful human beings for stopping on by. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.